So RBA player LeBron James received some of the worst news that he's ever heard in his RBA career. LeBron James gets smacked in the face with the truth. LeBron James gets a Gervonta Davis type uppercut with the truth. LeBron James get lined up, and I ain't talking about with a pair of clippers. LeBron James goes to the doctor and gets a dose of reality. But there are multiple reports that no team in the RBA wants LeBron James on their team. It's even being rumored around the RBA that teams wouldn't even trade LeBron James for $10 and a food stamp card. But here's what's being reported. This article is per Yahoo Sports, and the headline reads, Lakers rumor. Shams, as in Shams Charania, gets brutally honest on LeBron James' moment of truth. The article says LeBron James may have recently opted in for his $52.6 million player option with the Los Angeles Lakers for the 2025-26 season. However, instead of quelling rumors about his immediate future, the move has only increased the noise, with James understood to be monitoring the Lakers offseason closely. It says, as things stand, James will be a free agent at the end of next season, when he will look to sign a new contract. Whether that's with his current team or a new one remains to be seen. However, much will depend on whether he can compete for a championship as he winds down towards the end of his storied career. It says the Lakers are clearly prioritizing a future that centers around Luka Doncic, which according to Shams Charania, James understands. Rob Pelinka and co are currently looking to not only sign a center in free agency, but are also looking to add wing depth. However, they want to do so while ensuring that they have max salary space in 2027. Shams Charania says, quote, but for his part, at this point in his career, at his age 40 years old going on 41, he wants to compete for a championship, wherever that may be, in Los Angeles, or there are conversations to be had at another point, Shams Charania said on SportsCenter. He goes on to say, LeBron is very closely evaluating essentially how this goes with the Lakers and where he would want his career to be as he winds down. Whether he has 1 year left, 2 years, or 3 years left, what we are seeing right now is essentially a moment of truth between LeBron James and the Lakers. Now, I know this news that LeBron James has received is much worse than getting the bad news that the Diddy freak-offs are now over for now. Because now he can't get his Lil Meg Thee Stallion Hot Girl Summer on at the Diddy parties. LeBron James is now getting the orphan treatment. Why nobody want me, man? LeBron James doesn't need to be evaluating the Los Angeles Lakers front office decision making closely. What he needs to be doing is going to his primary care doctor and having them evaluate his brain, because he's still so delusional to think that any team in the RBA needs his services at 41 years old. Who would want a 41-year-old ball-hogging, ball-dominant player dribbling the ball out for most of the shot clock, where he's the primary focus of your offense, where your offense is predicated around his style? I'm seeing rumors surfacing around the internet of LeBron James potentially wanting to team up with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis with the Dallas Mavericks. Now that the Dallas Mavericks have also drafted Cooper Flag, the only flag that LeBron James should be worried about is the pride flag. During the LBJTQ Pride Month. But why would the Dallas Mavericks want a LeBron James when they just not too long ago competed for a real RBA title? I'm not talking about no fake bubble title. I'm talking about a real RBA championship. Why would the Dallas Mavericks want a LeBron James when Kyrie Irving fled from Cleveland to get away from LeBron James? Why would the Dallas Mavericks want LeBron James when Anthony Davis broke out of Lakers prison to get away from LeBron James? Freedom at last. LeBron James decreases your chances of winning a RBA title. When have you ever seen Michael Jordan need this much help? I mean, it's okay to want to get help, but LeBron James wants to be surrounded by nothing but superstars, and then he gets all the credit. See, news like this in the past would have never made headlines because the media would have suppressed this news because they want to continue continue to sell their puppet with this perfect image as if he does no wrong. He's the media darling. He's the golden boy. LeBron James is a philanthropist, and sell this illusion that every team wants LeBron James because he supposedly make teammates better. He makes teams better, and he increases your team chances of winning another championship. But the lie detector determined that that was a lie. In my Maury Povich voice. But now that LeBron James has backstabbed the very same media who helped build him up, now it's no mercy. Like that old WWF video game. He bit the very same hand that fed him. LeBron James is manufactured. He has been sold as the greatest, the second greatest next to MJ, or he deserves to be in the same breath, or he's just as great as Michael Jordan was. But he has pretended to be this social media gangster, going on interviews and disrespecting the Brian Windhorses of the world. Guys who covered him in a positive way, in a positive light for years. Stepping to Stephen A.Smith and going at other sports news anchors. So now that the RBA has no more use for LeBron James, and they're trying to focus on growing the future for the Shai Gilgeous-Alexanders of the world, promoting a new crop of players so they could grow the league, so they can evolve. LeBron James brings no value to a team. LeBron James is coming with baggage. He's bringing his trash son, LeBron James Jr., along with him. And more than likely, you got to trade all your assets. You got to mortgage your entire future for LeBron James. And all he wants to do is play with his sons. As I've mentioned countless times on my videos, LeBron James is not staying around simply because he wants to play with his sons or for the love of the game. And he's so passionate about the game. He's so obsessed with the game like the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants of the world were. No. It's pure ego. LeBron James only cares about LeBron James. He's just using his sons as pawns to have a reason to stay around. Now he's using his wife. Now he's lying on his wife, saying that his wife is begging for him to retire. So he only gonna play not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7 more years. He's gonna play 10 extra years. This is how low this guy is. LeBron James doesn't care about winning championships no more. LeBron James only wants to stay around because he knows that he's going to become irrelevant. He loves being the center of attention. He knows as long as he stays around, they're going to continue to talk about LeBron James in a news cycle. But if he retires, they're going to move on to the next. They're going to compare the next player to Michael Jordan. And there's not going to be, oh, well, Michael Jordan couldn't do this at 41 years old. LeBron James should have been retired years ago. The Lakers don't need LeBron James. No team in the NBA need LeBron James.